Hello, everyone. Hoodie D here, joined by Lady Madea, and today we are talking
Hello.
about The Accountant 2. Whoa! This is Ben Affleck's newest film. The character Christian Wolf, we're following him as he's pulled back into the criminal world to protect a friend from a global conspiracy. Teaming up with his brother Braxton, Christian faces brutal enemies while struggling with his desire to live a normal life. The sequel is darker, it's a lot more emotional and action packed. Directed by Gavin O'Connor. I'm not too familiar with his work. I know he did the first film. I actually watched the first film for the first time before seeing this one, so it was really kind of cool seeing both of them back to back and seeing the character development. So I did appreciate that. Lady Medea, take it away. What were your thoughts?
Well, I was kind of excited to see it based on uh just the the couple trailers that I've seen. I have not um seen or heard any reviews. I kind of try to avoid them because I don't want to form my opinion before I go to see the movies based on somebody else's reviews. But I do watch a trailer just to kind of have an idea what to expect or what the movie is about. I have not seen the first one. I did not know too much about it. I did know that there's gonna be a collaboration of two brothers. They very much different from each other, and after watching the movie, kind of I reflected on it. First of all, I did enjoy it. I did like the dynamics between the two. You couldn't have two different characters. Obviously, you have Ben Affleck's character, and he is definitely this stoic, down to earth, um, obviously, um, a guy who is um, who has the disease that make him who he is, extremely smart, extremely calculated. And then you have his, oh, of course, not very very hard to show the emotions. And then you have his brother who is total opposite. And then um you see how the two of them interact, and you kind of hear a little bit of backstory. You hear, you know, kind of they go a little bit to the past, and like they haven't seen each other in many years, and um, you know, and see how it, how their relationship changes a little bit. So yeah, that was good. Like you said, the character arc and development, and just kind of good to see that the writing actually focused on that a little bit. And then of course it's action packed. You have a great effects. You have a great plot. um the movie kind of kept me engaged all the time. There wasn't anything boring, or I wasn't. I always go out in the middle of the night. I choose the latest movie. This one, I think it was 10:15. So if there's anything boring, you can be pretty sure I'm gonna be sleeping. So that wasn't a case. That wasn't the case with that movie. And I always choose the recliner too. So I have like perfect conditions. If the movie at any point, if the movie slows down and becomes like kind of like so is Magda. It's like, okay, let's just take a little nap. But that wasn't the case with this movie. It was very engaging. What did you think?
I think you said a lot that I agree with. I
Yeah.
did. There's something I want to say is specifically the sound design for these past
Mhm.
two films here. When the action is happening and the guns are being fired, the sound design is just top notch. At the end of this movie, there's a scene where there's kind of a shootout between them and the cartel. They're in Juarez,
Mhm.
Mexico, and the sound design was just incredible. I felt like I was there, and I really do appreciate those types of things where they put the time and effort into the sound design. And seeing it at AMC with the Dolby Atmos, those big speakers, it just sounds amazing.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed the dynamic between Ben Affleck and John Bernthal. I thought they played off each other very well in both films, but in this film particular, there's a scene where they're kind of just hanging out outside of Ben Affleck's trailer and just talking. And
Yeah.
I could have watched that for like another 20 minutes of them just hanging out and talking. They really know how to play off of each other, and they're great to watch. So I did enjoy that. I think that they're really good, stars together. They know how to, play off one another, and you can tell that they're having a good time, and that translates to the film. And then, of course, you can tell that as an audience member. Uh, I do think that this movie was a bit overstuffed compared to the first film, plot wise. There was just a few things that were kind of all happening at the same time, and I don't want to say it was confusing. You could still follow it, but just kind of felt like there was a little bit thrown in there that might not have been needed. But that's just my opinion. And I did like the tone and style. It was a looser tone compared to his predecessor, in a good way. The first one was really more, explaining who Christian Wolf is, why he is how he is, his upbringing. This movie, we kind of got to see him be himself a little bit more, which I thought was cool. The action, as I mentioned earlier, was really well done. And I watched both films back to back, as I mentioned, and seeing them each in a row was a treat, I will say. It wasn't like the sequel was a letdown, a huge disappointment. I know we're used to that with Hollywood and these sequels, but it was good, well written, well performances. The actors did a great job with their performances,
Yeah.
and I don't have too much to complain about, other than you know I think that it was a bit overstuffed. Some of it was convoluted, but I really enjoyed it. How did you like the dynamic between the two actors?
I like I said, I absolutely loved it. I think they did a good job given that, they actually had to pull off the differences and differences in character and differences in the lifestyle and everything else. So it was good to see. I love the bickering between the two of them. It was, yeah, it was joyful to see. The one thing I wanted to bring up was um the Christians attempts to date. I thought that was hilarious, that the opening scene when he goes to do the little speed dating, and that he has those ladies kind of all like lined up in front of him, because he's so good looking, and everybody has hopes to charm him, and have a good next date with him. And then he starts talking, and and keeps going about the tax and and taxes and all those weird things, and you can just see those ladies kind of like, no, it's not happening. So it was great. And then when they had that country music bar, and he just kind of figures out the square dancing, and it's all up to his realm, because he's all about numbers and patterns, and it's amazing how quickly he picks up those steps to it, and that's what impresses the girl there. So it's and how happy he is, and how joyful, and yeah. So that was great. That was great. I actually had a lot of fun with all that you know
Awesome. No, I love that scene at the cowboy bar, the saloon. I
hmm.
I absolutely loved it because you could tell as soon as he started looking at the people dancing,
Yes.
you knew he was gonna go out there. And
Yeah, it started like that. His brain started turning, the and calculating, and he was like, okay, this is the pattern, this is how it goes, this is to the uh, yeah, amazing. So he picked up in like 30 seconds.
Yeah, no, and
So,
he did a good job dancing. Ben Affleck, you did a good job
mhm.
learning that, and you look great
Yes.
out there.
Yeah.
um, yeah, but
Yeah.
overall, I do think it was a good movie. It was darker than the first movie in some
Mm.
ways. It had more humor and some lighter moments than the first movie, which I think worked as far as where they
Mhm.
were thrown in the
It,
script.
it needed it. It
Yes.
needed the humor. Yeah.
So overall, I would say it's like I said earlier, a little looser, but overall more entertaining and but it's not a comedy or anything. So don't think we're talking about it when
Mm.
it's saying it's a comedy. There's these genuine just moments of humor thrown in there, not forced. They work. So
Mhm. Yeah.
um overall, like I said, I think it's more fun and better pace than the first movie. Not that the first movie is bad by any means. I'm going to give this one a 7 overall.
Mhm.
Lady Medea, what is your rating?
I was thinking 7.5. Yeah.
That's fair. I can
Yeah.
see that.
Yeah. Yeah. I
That's a
was.
fair rating. Thank you for watching, everybody. If you are not part of our channel, please hit subscribe and like. Thank you.
Bye bye.